Welcome to Unbiased and On the Fence. I'm Shane. This is the call-in show. I did have a few announcements to make on, let's see, of course tomorrow we'll have Michelle Wolf back in for our Tuesday show. And next week, next Wednesday, that is the 11th, we will have the 11th at 1 Central. We were laughing, Candace and I were laughing that it was the 11th at 1. Our time anyway. We will have Candace Craw-Goldman in to talk about BQH, of course. Excited about that. We're going to have some fun stuff to talk about, as well as some things to offer you all, the listeners. So be sure to be here. There's only a limited number of these special offers for you guys, but if you're interested in quantum healing, you definitely want to be in for that. And then, of course, let's see, on the 23rd of this month, we're going to welcome Magenta Pixie in for a live stream. Really excited about that. And we'll have more details to follow. Let's see what I have right now. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm also going to, because I wanted to get on earlier, there were some people in Europe that wanted to participate in the last call-in show, and of course, they were asleep because we started kind of late, but for those of you that are, it's later in the day, you're closer to UTC time, and you don't want to pay for toll fees, you can call me up on Facebook Messenger. I do have that open and ready to go as well. Let me get to the phone lines, though. Let me see here. Let me switch the screen, get the chat on here. 781-4-SHANE-C is the number to dial. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Let's see here. Lots of people. Already 64 in here watching. Wonderful. That was quick. Amazing how quick you guys hop in here. Lots of love and light to everyone in the chat. So I've been keeping an eye on, there's so much going on, and you know, I was reminded from the latest video by Jim Self that everything out here is our theater. Sure, it's fun to view these things and to look into these things and try to figure them all out, but you know, really they're there for our entertainment. We shouldn't get so involved with them that we sort of get taken down the rabbit hole and never seen again. But it is fun to consider all the different views out there and everything. But at the end of the day, it's all theater. It's all for our entertainment and our development. So not to be worried. Just live in love and light. Let me see. Make sure I am good to go here. Yes, we are good to go. So yeah, you can call in with whatever you want to talk about. It's Mandela Monday tonight. So if you are wanting to talk about the Mandela effect, what your big Mandela effect was, what woke you up to the fact that the Mandela effect was actually happening, out of you 77 viewers watching, that'd be exciting. I love the Mandela effect talks. What's causing it? What the heck's going on? Seemingly impossible events are occurring. Have you noticed? Ooh, big thunderstorm in Canada, Jamie says. What about you, Jose? Are you dealing with the weather? It has been pretty strange here. You know, I was watching Mr. MBB 333 talk about the dust cloud from the Sahara Desert blowing across the whole ocean, going up into the Gulf, and some of it blowing over towards hurricane or soon to be Hurricane Fabio, if it's not a hurricane yet. But a lot of it was blowing up into the Gulf and up into Texas and Louisiana, Tennessee, and even Oklahoma. And I've been noticing the haziness in the cloud, the actual dustiness. I've been noticing it. I didn't know what it was. And then I watched Mr. MBB 333 and I'm like, holy cow, I'm seeing dust from the Sahara Desert in the sky. This is what's got the sky looking the way it does. It's amazing. And of course, he brought out the fact that, which Michelle and I get into this more tomorrow, some of the things that we've seen on Mr. MBB 333's videos and websites. But Mars is going through a global dust storm too. The rovers have shut down. Their solar panels aren't working. I'm going to actually take a look at the Schumann right now and see what we got going on. Let me stop in on Mr. MBB 333's website. Kind of a one-stop shop to get in here and see what things are going on. That's exciting. It looks like it's been calm, but it might be picking up again by the looks of this. It's kind of hard to tell until after it happens, but yeah, what do we have for weather? It was in the 70s this morning, but let's see what it's up to now here. 88 degrees here right now. It's supposed to get up to 95. I doubt that it will probably won't hit that. I think the clouds have come out. All right, let me get in here to Hangouts. I'm going to call up Jose. Let's see what she's doing while we wait for someone else to call in. Ring-a-ling-a-ling, Jose.
Hello? How are you there?
How are you, Jose?
Hey, Shane, what's up?
Not too much. You can actually kill your camera if it's... All I see is blackness, but it might help
Oh
too.
my goodness, it's ringing everywhere.
I know. I got, phones are great because I had this one. I've got the Samsung Galaxy that's like, it hasn't had service in like 3 years or something, but I hook it to the internet, so I still use it quite a bit for photographs and stuff like that. And because they're all using my same Google account, I'll have my computer and both of my phones ringing
Hey,
at the
are
same
you
time.
still there?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
Oh, yes, now I can. I
Oh, okay.
just muted the stream. So weird. So weird. So, hey, hi guys. Why don't you guys want to call Shane? Like, he's really fun to talk to, really. Like it's come on, you want to. How you doing, Shane?
Pretty good, pretty good. So it's hot up there, huh?
Yeah. Goodness, yeah. It's like an oven, a sauna.
Oh,
Um,
real muggy, huh?
oh yeah, really, really humid, really Hey, I got something weird happened to me earlier. I was just sitting here and my head felt funny, like I think I felt a wave,
Oh,
but it was really strong and
like pressure?
like I had to, not pressure, not quite dizzy, but a kind of, like, And I had to stop what I was doing and just like be with it.
Yeah.
Like it was strong enough that I had to stop what I was doing. It only lasted like maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but I had to, like, I noticed it. It was different.
You
So,
said it only lasted like 20 seconds?
well, maybe 30, like it's
Right.
hard when you're maybe a minute. I don't know. But yeah, it was, yeah,
It was intense, though?
yeah, yeah. Well, not super intense, but something I never experienced before.
Somebody else is saying they were dizzy yesterday. So it wasn't really a dizziness. What's the closest thing you can compare it to?
Um, well, yeah, it can feel like dizziness or, yeah, that's close enough.
It's sorry,
It's kind of,
disorienting.
yeah, like I felt like my being pulled to one side,
You felt like your what was being pulled to one side?
my body, like my
Oh,
body was being pulled to the left, and then I felt that it's almost like it was filling me up, you know, and something different I never felt before. So it's really hard to explain exactly. I was not quite dizzy, but like,
dude, that sounds like the thing I had. That it felt like, I don't know, like in a movie when you shift realities, and it wasn't really dizzy, but it felt dizzy. But like I
yeah,
didn't. I don't know. It was the closest
I
thing I could
I
explain to was dizziness, but it wasn't dizziness.
uh-huh, I know it's weird. It's really strange. Yeah. Jemima gets those a lot. She's been getting them for a couple months now,
Yeah.
and the last one was like 20, 25 minutes, I think.
Oh, it
She,
lasted that long?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she had to sit. She couldn't stand, but her head was all there, but her body was she couldn't stand up or do anything.
Yeah.
But she was really conscious and, like, yeah, yeah, you should talk to her, get her to tell you. It's pretty amazing what she felt.
Wow. Nola, no, I haven't gotten your message that I know of. How did you send it to me? Did you email it or how did I get it? I'm not sure. I'm looking through Messenger for it. Uh,
But
Thank you,
what are
Starlight.
you looking for?
Nola asked if I received the message that they sent, but
From Jemima?
from Nola, Mikey. But I didn't see any messages. I'm not sure if it was a comment. I have so many outlets to receive
Oh,
messages, and really email is the only one that I for sure get to. I mean, some comments I end up missing, and uh, social media isn't very good because I don't check
oh
that.
no, it's not. Don't, no, not Facebook is not a good place. Email is better.
Even Discord isn't very good because I only get on there to say, "Hey, I'm about to go live," and then if I do see a message, it's like, "Man, I wish I had time to read this, but I'm about to go live." So then I forget until I'm going live again. I'm like, "Oh, I never checked these messages. I gotta get back in." So it's
I
awful,
know.
but
It's so hard to keep up with everything though.
he's just
And
up there.
you are a lot busier than I am. Like, you do a lot more, and it must be hard for you to keep up. Like, it's hard for me, and I don't get nearly, not
Yeah,
even half of what you get. Like.
yeah. Email is the best though. If you
Yeah.
feel so inclined to get a hold of me, email is the best. That's still not surefire way because sometimes it's hard for me to get an email and not read it. And sometimes I'm like about to head out the door and I'm like, oh, what's this email about? And then I'll read it and then I feel like I've replied to it and it looks red, so I don't make it back to it. And then,
Yeah.
so many of us have similar stories. So it's like
Oh,
sometimes
it's a
people's
trick.
stories run together. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't forget to put a subject in for your email, guys. It's easier when there's a subject
Oh, it sure
in
is.
yeah, then we know more exactly at least what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
And it's easier to track the emails after
Yeah, and also
because
sometimes people will send a fresh new email to me, and I won't connect that they're the same person that I've talked to in the past because it's not under the same
oh,
email. So
yeah.
they just automatically become another person, and it's like, I don't know, and it's hard to keep up. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, do I need a secretary or something? It's getting a little out of hand. But it seems that I come across the emails I'm supposed to get. It's just how it works out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. But it's hard to keep up. I'm not as busy. Thank God I'm not as busy as you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So, what you been doing?
Well, I've been looking into this BQH material, which is so freaking cool. I can't wait to have Candace Carl Goldman on next week to discuss it. I even I came across, I'll call it an anomaly in one of her videos that I'm going to bring up with her on the. I think it's an angel or something, but I'll let you guys see it if she'll allow me to. I took some screenshots of it and sent it to her, and I'm like, hey, did you see this? This looks like, this isn't just dust in front of the camera. This is like, it looks like something. And so
Oh,
she was like, wow. And I was like, okay, so cool. It's not just me that sees it because I try not to get too carried away with something, and I'm like, what if there could be an
yeah,
explanation for this? So that's really cool. And
I'm
then
like that too.
yeah, and then someone I don't think they wanted me to mention their name, but they've been telling me this ghost story about their house ever since we had the call-in show, and somebody was talking about their house being haunted or having ghosts in it. They've been sending me this information about what they've been going through with the house they're currently in, and it is mind blowing what some people are going through. I wish she would come on or he and share their story. All right, so I ruined it. Okay, so now we know it's a female, but that still only narrows it down by 50%, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's one chance out of two you'll get the. No, that's more than that. No, they can't guess. It
Oh,
would be
hi
hard to
Diane
guess.
from burning up England. I think the world's on fire, isn't it? Everybody's burning up.
It is so crazy. Yeah, it
That
is
and the
just
sun is
totally.
so vicious, isn't it?
Oh, it's just insane. I don't even go outside.
You
I
should call
haven't
in
been
Diane through
outside.
Messenger. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah, you got to keep
Yeah,
covered up like
yeah.
Michael talks about on Mr. MBB 333. His
Uh-huh.
name's Michael, but yeah, he did one of those readings. Did you see the one where he did a reading under one of those umbrellas and outside of the umbrella? And the umbrella actually helps quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it might feel
I didn't
silly.
see that one under the umbrella, no.
It might
How
feel
how
silly
was it?
walking around with an umbrella in the sun, but I think we're sort of getting to that age where we might just have to do that.
What? A lot of people like I know in Asia, most people do that.
Yeah,
You know, they have like umbrella for the sun.
yeah,
It's just like a habit we don't have here, but we should.
yeah. Oh, overprotected. So Alison Coe's eyes turned from brown to blue in my reality while she was talking about blue beings. Oh, is that her new video? Someone was asking about Alison Coe, asking where is she. She did just put out a video. I made it about, I don't know, 50% through it before this show. I had to stop it to come on here because I was wanting to see what kind of update she's got. It's great to hear from her again. But yeah, her
Yeah, she
eyes
was away
turn.
for a while.
What color do you remember her eyes being, Jose?
Hmm. I would have to think. I think I remember blue, but I'm not sure. But I'm sure when I look at the video, when I see her, I'll notice if there was change because I'm really visual
Yeah,
and I notice when something is different. Like right away, someone is like 3 hairs less or something, you know, like I noticed that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'll check after and see. But I think I am not sure. Yeah, maybe they were brown. Yeah. Anyway, what do you remember?
In my mind, they're dark like they're brown, but they're blue. I mean, it's like, you
Yeah.
know how people with brown eyes have like a darkness about their eyes, and people's eyes are blue
Uh-huh.
have a lightness about them. To me, they seem like they were blue but dark. So it's
Yeah.
like I have a memory of both. So I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll up and
But
see
keep
if you didn't put my name by it where it glows red. Then it's way too much for me to try to scroll up and read all of it. No, I'm sorry. You'll have to copy it, paste it, and put the name in there with it. What do we have here? I think I got my first victim. I'm just playing. My first caller coming in. Thank you for chatting with me, Jose. Let me see if
no problem, darling.
I might call you back if
So,
things get too quiet.
okay. I'll stay on then. Okay, talk to you later then.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Hey, Leah.
Hi, hi from
Welcome
the
to the.
UK.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I thought I'd give you a call. I've been watching your channel and it's very interesting, but I want to really talk about the Alison Coe video.
Oh, the new one. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's like lots of confirmations today. I've been working with Nathan and Sam posting like crazy all the downloads. But today when I was watching her video, I posted 2 videos 2 years ago. I got a huge download and it's all about the chakras and how they're closing into your heart and then expanding. So I just thought, you know, it's brilliant coincidence that she's been bringing that up today and all that sort of waves of energy that are hitting the planet all over in like little pockets. Where all the light workers are, you will find where all the concentrated light workers are, there's going to be pockets of this heat and high energy. I mean, where I
Hmm.
am at the minute, it's the hottest part of the UK. It's all on fire.
Oh yeah, Diane was just. She's from. Where did she say she was?
She's in Devon, I think
Oh
she
yeah,
said she
Devon.
was, which is right down the other end of the country. But I can see the fire right from where I'm stood right now. It's crazy.
Oh wow. So there's actually a fire going on there. You're saying?
Yeah, if you Google, it's called Winter Hill, and it's like 5 miles from where I'm stood right now. But we've had the heat. It's just like a great big pocket over where, like, I don't know, 50-mile radius of where I am,
Oh
and
wow.
it's just crazy. It's like 30 degrees. We're just not used to it up here. It's always raining usually.
Oh, you need some rain now then to put those fires out
We
then.
would need some rain. If everyone could send some rain over to Manchester, that would be great. It's all on fire.
Oh wow, that's so crazy. So yeah, so what stood out about the Alison Coe video? Like I said, I didn't make it through the whole thing. I still got about a half hour left, but it seemed awesome so
It was,
far.
it was, it was the chakra thing really, because I got this upgrade about 2 years ago. I've been running this for 5 years, but they made me put my video out, and I don't like talking in public like this. I don't like doing videos, but they said no, you've got to start putting the video out of how the chakras are coming back up into the heart. I
Hmm.
mean, how she explained it was brilliant. So I've just done 2 quick instructional videos of the download that I got. But if you want to ask me anything, I can answer questions, but I can't volunteer information.
Ah, okay. So tell me about what the upgrades to the chakra system was like for you.
Well, for me, when I did it, they did it in my dream time first to see whether I could handle the new energy. But it was just like a golden light column, and it came right through my whole system, right through all my chakras, and I had to go outside. It was just feel. It's like these upgrades you get, and it feels like you're on fire and you're burning up, and the energy is coming out your feet and your hands, and you just have to go outside and ground. But that's
Hmm.
the energy coming through your chakras, grounding into the planet. And when you start doing this on a regular basis, you go outside and sort of connect with the earth with bare feet, that is clearing your channel and getting the galactic waves coming through. And then gradually you've got to focus. You do it each day at a different chakra as you bring up the energy back up your legs into your first lower chakra. You sort of fill it up with this golden light, and then you gradually raise that to your heart and you expand it outside of your energy field, so it puts like a red shield up around you.
Hmm.
So that chakra's then, and the next day you do the next chakra. So you're building up your chakras through your heart, still attached, and putting them outside of you. So you look like a giant torus in a rainbow torus field. So you're really then getting like the galactic energy coming through you as a pure golden light to the earth.
Right.
And anybody else coming into your field, whatever sort of level they're on, if they're 3D, 4D, they will only go into the field on the outside of you that they're resonating with. So you can't give them information that they're not actually ready for, and they can't actually penetrate you. If they send you negative vibes, it will stick in the 3D chakra. It's on the outside of you. It's like a firewall. But that's how this is how it should be set up, and that is what they've been preparing. A lot of light workers are getting these downloads now.
So I was checking out, I don't know if you know the work of Jim Self or not.
I saw it today, but I've been blasted with so much information for the last 3 days. I've not stopped.
Right. I totally get it. Yeah, well, he was explaining how 3D is like completely going away, and the sort of rigidness of 3D, like right and wrong, and just the rigidness, like there's like if you can't change, like you're kind of stuck in your old pattern, and all of that's falling away, and we don't have to, or actually that we can't take our baggage, the 3D baggage, with us as we move up, and
the way that I've seen, and the way that it's been showing me, and how I know it's working now for me, is everybody, if you can imagine, everybody is in like your auric field. We call them protective bubbles, and most people's chakras are unactivated and locked inside the body, separated. And that's how it is. But once light workers start activating and doing this new, and they're walking around, we are slowly expanding our fields, connecting up with each other, and we're dissolving each chakra color from the planet. Like 3D is the root chakra, the red one, and we're slowly dissolving it. So everybody has to then upgrade to the next one, till eventually we're all in 5D. And that's how we're doing it, one light worker at a time.
Okay, so I guess a good question that many people will want to know is, what can we do to get these upgrades if we haven't already? Just ask?
It's grounded, and you have got to ask. Literally, you've got to ask. The best thing to do is first thing in the morning, have some coffee, black coffee. Everything in Mother Nature, it does exactly what it says on the tin sort of thing. Coffee grounds, because it grounds you. So you have coffee in the morning, and it'll ground the energy. You meditate, sit on the floor, but you've got to earth yourself. You've heard of a video called Earthing?
Oh yeah, I have seen that.
That's the start of it. It's just making a galactic connection, because we're getting this 5D energy coming down through the 4D, which is what we're in now, but basically there's a very small sliver of 3D, which is from the ground, say just up to the cloud level, and then underneath the earth it's 5D. So we've got these two pressures on us, and we are like the acupuncture decompression chambers that are basically spreading out and decompressing. So when we ground and we're connecting to the central sun, through our heart and through our feet into the planet, and expanding that field, we're decompressing the 3D and getting rid of it. And that's how you do it. And then you've just got to sit and ask. And they won't give you any more than you can handle. You get a thin slither until it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right. Yeah, I've kind of noticed that. It's like, I'll realize that I'll ask, I'm like, come on, show yourself, or reveal yourself, or give me some upgrades, or give me some information. And it's like, once 6 months down the road, I'm like, oh wow, I really wasn't ready for this at that time, you know.
They'll give you, you'll know, because you'll be having lots and lots of dreams. And when you've had loads and loads of dreams, it's when basically you get any downloads. But then when you can't sleep, it's because you've got so much to do. You've got to process it while you're in physical reality awake. You've got to process that. So you're like a computer. It's like you've got all these upgrades going on, but you're still running the old program.
Right, that makes sense.
And if you know your laptop or your computers, if you've got all the programs open and you're trying to upgrade your computer to a new one, it will stop.
Right.
So you're defragging all the old program, and basically you've got to then put on put in the new program. You can't run the two programs simultaneously, but unfortunately a lot of us light workers are having to try and do that.
That's amazing. Yeah, that makes total sense when I think of it like that. And that makes sense why we can't carry the old baggage with us, because all that's going to do is slow us down and clutter up all the new information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you feel yourself building up with energy and your feet are burning, your hands are burning and you're sweating, it's because you've got so much energy in you. You've got to literally, you're not supposed to hold it in your physical vessel. You've got to make this connection. So we're like a Wi-Fi system, a router. We are like a router. That's all I can describe it as. We're channeling this high energy information and we're trying to hold it in a tiny little iPhone. We're supposed to be like a network of a server where we can spread this information outwards to everybody else.
Yes, that makes complete sense. So it's like when we do some of these meditations together, it probably helps us ground each other, especially when we're on different sides of the planet.
Exactly. And you'll probably find as well when you talk to light workers or you're talking in physical reality as well, you upgrading each other all the time and you get so many downloads. It's because we don't ever, and I can say this on hand on my heart, get information for ourselves. That's not how it works. We get information that is meant for other people. So it forces us to share our information.
So that's why it feels so good for us to get together and chat and not, to share our what's happening with each other, and we don't have to feel so alone. Plus, we're sort of encouraging each other along the path of enlightenment, if you will.
Exactly. It's not a one-person show, because it can't be. We've all got each other's books.
Right.
To pass them back again. And the other side, they've lost their books and they think they're the teachers. They're not. They're actually the kids running the kindergarten that think they're the teachers.
Exactly.
And so the teachers, they're all... Sorry, go on.
I was going to ask how you've gotten to this point in life. Have you always sort of been into spirituality, or did you have a wake-up, something that woke you up?
I'm a freak of nature. I was born this way. Even I go to light ships, and all my life I've been going to ships, and they used to call me the Enigma because they couldn't figure out where I came from either, which is very strange. But yeah, I've had sort of things going on my whole life. Really strange things.
Do you think most of us have been going to light ships and we just don't remember it?
We all go to light ships. The amount of people that I see waking up now that I've seen on light ships, it's absolutely ridiculous. But you only can wake up when you're ready to wake up. So
do you remember your journeys to the light ships always, or just sometimes, or?
Most of them I do, but the way that I did a video with, I don't know if you heard of Galactic Connection. I did my 1 or 2 interviews. I did one with her and it was 2 hours. But I talk about the history, but I don't talk about myself because there's so much weirdness. People would lock me up in a mental hospital if they heard half of it.
Well, you're certainly in good company here.
But yeah, I remember everything. There isn't anything I don't remember, but I can't. The way it works with me, because I used to do sessions, but I only can give information when people are ready to ask me the question.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm asked the right question, I'm not allowed to lie. I only can give the right information, but the question's got to be asked first. I can't volunteer because then I could push somebody and wake them up
prematurely.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you this: what if someone wants to remember their trip to the light ship? Is there something? Because I've asked to remember, but what else can I do?
The best thing to do is set an intention, write an intention, put it under your pillow. I want to remember what I'm doing tonight in my sleep. When you get to the light ship, you'll see that you've done that. We have the choice before we come back, because we store all our memories. We go to light ships, we go to our workstations, and we do our work up there, and we remember everything. The minute we go there, we remember everything, but we then, before we come back here, we decide what we're going to take back with us. It's our choice.
So I'm choosing to do this to myself.
Yes.
It's such a trip.
Yes.
It's like he's not ready. That version of me is so messed up. I'm not taking too much information back.
But you can't, I take mental pictures. The last thing I do is, like, if I really want to remember something, I've trained myself to take a mental picture of something that will trigger a memory. And I'll come back, I'll wake up and I'll draw a picture. I'm an artist, so every single painting I've ever done is something I've brought back with me.
Right. So all of my little aha moments, I've been doing that to myself. Really, that's
You
such a
have.
trip. That's wild. Yeah, because I've had these moments where I'm like, I know somebody's helping me. I'm helping myself. It's like my higher self
Yeah.
helping me.
See, a lot of the time as well, when we get deja vu, it's because when we go upstairs, I call it upstairs, it's easier for 3D people on the other hear you to
Right.
sort of not prick up their ears, but when we go upstairs, we run training simulations. All the light workers go onto different ships and we all work together and we run simulations of every step that we're going to make the next day, and we all working. And if we get it wrong, we'll do it again and again and again until all these synchronicities that we think we're having. It's not. It's just that we've done it, timed it. We've done it so many times upstairs. We've come back and right, okay, reset the day. Let's go.
Right.
It's a bit trippy. It's like Groundhog Day till we get it right.
Oh, wow, it is. That's a great way to put it, yes.
Well, there's no time, so when we're upstairs, we're in a place of no time, so we can simulate a day over and over and over, and then we all wake up and we say, oh, there's synchronicities, that person said this has happened, that Mandela effect's happened. I wonder why all the Mandela effects are words that are spelled wrong. Is it because all light workers are dyslexic?
Yeah, are we are we doing it to ourselves with the Mandela effect? I've often thought that because of all the personal things, like the thinker statue that I had as a kid. It's like that was purposely put in my life. Why did I want that statue from we got it used from a garage sale here, and
Exactly. I
it's
mean,
like
maybe you could
crazy.
look at it another way. The guy that actually made the statue, perhaps he's one of us travelling back in time and just going, oh, I'm just going to go back and remake that just to frig with some light workers to wake them up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's probably a series of us who had those as a kid, and we know that they've changed, and that's my big one. I mean, because I can imagine words changed or I remembered them wrong, but that statue, I looked at it every day waking up, and there's no way that I can
It
ever.
has changed. I studied art and I did art history and I absolutely freaked my art professor out all the time because I was spotting all sorts of things in pictures. That's a UFO. But I remember that statue and he definitely had it on his head.
Yeah,
But there's all sorts, there's pictures, there's paintings with like speed cameras on the pit that are done like in the 1800s and
yeah.
all sorts of things that every light worker that I know is either an artist, a musician, a
Hmm.
creative person. But it's because we all think differently and we're wired differently, and a lot of the Mandela effect we're causing. Are you there?
I'm sorry. Yeah, did I?
Sorry. I think
I'm
I
still
had an
here.
interruption there.
Oh nope, you didn't cut out or anything, but yes.
Is there anything else? Everybody's been trying to get me onto their show. Do you know that? It's taken 2 years for me to actually speak.
Oh no, that's awesome. Let me ask you this: do you have your own YouTube channel or any
I
way?
do. I've got my YouTube channel and I've got videos that I've got a lot of your videos on there, and I've got my two interviews that I did. Let's say Alexandra Meadows has been trying to get me back on for 2 years. It took her 6 months to get me on there. But my team tell me when to talk and when not to talk, and the last couple of days they're saying you've got to go and talk about stuff now. And I was like, no.
Well, I think I think having you on, you don't have to do camera if you don't want, but you could have like a full interview because, I wasn't really prepared to, sort of come
Yeah,
up with
yeah,
questions, and I
I would
know,
like that.
I
Now
know when
talk
we
to
hang up,
you.
I'm going to be like, oh, I should have asked this and I should have asked that. So, um,
Well, you can listen to quite a long video because when I talk, I sit back and I let my higher self just do the talking because they know better than me.
yeah, I understand that. So, were you in the chat?
I am on the chat, but I'll go and let somebody else have a chat.
Well, I was going to ask you to post your link to your channel in, or let us know. Is it under the same name,
Yeah,
Leah?
it's exactly that name. It's Liara. That's my
Okay.
name. And I'm in the groups. I'm in Nathan's group. I'm in your group.
Oh,
So
okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely go check out because I don't know how many people have had channels, and I'm like, I didn't know you had a channel. I just saw your name, and it
well, I
didn't
don't
look like.
call myself a channel. I call myself it's sort of a decipherer of light streams. I get all these streams and they give me pictures and images, and I'm so used to deciphering it. I can just decipher what's going on.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, so Galactic Connection, you've been on there twice, and those are on your
Once
channel?
I've been on there once, and I was on
Once?
oh God, I can't remember. Wolf Spirit Radio as well with JP. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, it sounds sort of familiar. And those are on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, they're on my YouTube channel and a couple of videos because I don't mind showing my face, but it's not about my face, it's about my message. And people have told me that it's my voice when I'm channeling Liara, my higher self, that I activate people. I don't know how I do it, but apparently I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm the same way with my face, but I noticed a lot of people can make a better connection. They can tell you're being honest and authentic if they can see your face. And I would be showing it now if my computer could handle it, but people know
Yeah,
I
go on
don't.
then. I'll post it into my groups. I've got a few groups and a page, and you let me know when you want me to do it.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. So more to come with Liara, and she will be back in the chat so you guys can check out her videos, and then that will give us the opportunity to come up with more questions for you when you do come on.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Thank you so much for
Okay,
calling
Shay.
in.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye bye. What a pleasant surprise. That's so cool. Are you, let me see, are we friends, Diana? I don't know if we are or not. I thought we were. But yeah, you can actually call me up on Facebook Messenger. I will turn back on the phone lines as well. And, yeah, if you guys ever have a channel and you want us to check it out, you got to say something because everybody could possibly have a channel. And, I don't click on everyone's name to see if, thank you, Jose. I don't do it because I feel like I'm this handsome hunk or anything. It's just I feel like people can tell. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm always trying to be as authentic and honest as possible. And I know there's so many people, their BS detectors are on. They can look at my face and say, even if they don't agree with me or they know I'm completely wrong about something, they'll know I'm honestly being wrong about it. You know what I mean? So, can I mention Nibiru? Yeah, I can talk to her about that when she's on. I have no idea. That's like one of those crying wolf things, I've been looking for it since like '08 or something. In fact, I've been looking for Nibiru since before I was even really awake at all. And so I'm sort of like, you know what? Until I see a big, gigantic orange planet in the sky, I'm probably not going to give much thought to anything. Because I've seen the double sun pictures, and I don't know. It is cool to look at that stuff, but it's like, if it was there, where is it now? And I don't know. It's just trippy. Thank you so much, Michelle's Opinions. Oops. I actually left my own stream clicking on her channel. Let me come back. Okay, I'm back to my own stream. That's funny. And I do have your channel opened up, and I'm subscribing. I will definitely check out your videos. That's so exciting because, yeah, just a lot of great information. And it's funny because I'm like, I don't know what to ask. Diane, how are you? Welcome to the broadcast. Whoops. Diane, how are you? Welcome to the broadcast. Are you there? Can you hear me? I heard a click. I think you might have been there for a second, but... Oops. Can't hear you yet. Some of the headphones have a little mute button on it. It sounded like you were there and then you went away for a second. I wonder if you can hear me. Thank you for posting that link in there, Michelle. it was nice to see Michelle on your broadcast today, Michelle's opinions. And I hope to get more into Michelle's... Oh, there's the other Michelle. Oh, okay, so you're just now hopping in here, Michelle Wolf? Okay. I'm going to try to call you back, Diane. Let's see what happens. This was the whole reason I got on early, because I want to speak to the viewers that are over the pond, because it's not very late. It's like, well, it's starting to get late, but the last few times it was just so late in the evening that you guys were snoozing. More than likely. Let's try this here. Oops. I'm going to try to call you back. I think you were calling me while I was calling you. We'll see what happens here. Hearts everywhere. I've seen hearts in the clouds quite a bit, and in the shadows in the ground and things like that. It's trippy. Along with rainbows. Look at all the hearts everywhere. Definitely in our chat feed. Always lots of hearts and rainbows in there. I'll hang up and let you try me again, Diane. Because this has been a long time coming. Gosh, you know what? It was last June when that Ariana Grande thing happened and you stumbled across the channel, and I always think of you as my silver lining to that video that I wished I'd never put out. Actually, I've taken that video down because they were going and banning a lot of channels, taking a lot of channels down from old. I'm sorry, Jose. Yes, I was calling up Diane. I should have muted it for you guys. Everyone's like checking their thing. Am I calling somebody right now? No, it's me. Sorry, you guys. So yeah, Diane, if we can get her in here, she, oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, for a second there, I heard a click, like maybe it got muted or something. So I don't know what it is. You can try again if you like. No one else is calling, so. But yeah, our story is, you know, the whole Manchester attack had happened. I've pulled the video down since then, but I was sort of pointing out some of the things I thought were kind of fishy with it, and I had just a bunch of people that were saying that, you know, it was completely fake, nobody got hurt, and they were just being completely rude, and I don't know, it was just, I ended up having to take, let's see here, let's keep our fingers crossed. Diane, can you hear me? No, I can't hear you. Oh, wait, I heard some clicking. I think we're close. Are you there? Oh, I hear a little bit of air and I heard a click. I think we're really close. Maybe wiggle the wire or something. Sparkle bots. Michelle M says, that's funny, sparkle bots. If you can hear me, I can't hear you. Let me... Oh, did I hang up on you on accident? I didn't mean to. I don't know. Do you have a headset in? That might help. Maybe the microphone on your device isn't working good or something. But yeah, it was, so people were being rude, and although me and Diane were disagreeing about some things, I had to sort of take up for her because it was like people were being so rude. I'm like, look, we're just discussing this here. There's no need for anybody to be rude. Anyway, I'm so glad that's like, she's like the one good thing that came out of that. You know, she was a very spiritual person. I had no idea at the time, you know, she just happened to be from the area where the attack had happened with the Ariana Grande thing, so. Okay, no problem, Diane. Yeah, I did hear a little click. It seemed like it was about to work. Oh, goodness. 3, 2, 1, you can call me back. I didn't realize that my ringer was off. Okay, so somebody was calling in. Oh, Shell. Let me see. Oh, that's a different caller, but let's see who's calling in here. This is Shane. Welcome to the broadcast. Who am I talking with?
In Florida. How are you today?
Ronnie in Florida. Doing wonderful.
Great. Oh, I really don't have anything to talk about with Mandela effect, so I figured I'd just help you out a little bit since everybody is shy today. This is so bizarre. Come on, people. If I can do this, you can too. Man, I'm like the recluse of the world.
Yeah, you'd think people would be able to feel confident hiding behind the phone, but you know, we sort of got to the point where it's like we've been texting. Now talking is like showing your face or something. You know what I mean? It's like
well, I'm showing my age. I don't text very much, so I like talking on the phone better.
Yeah. Yeah, I like texting because it's I can get to it when I get to it, sort of a thing. But, you know, but I didn't really even have phone service, so I don't really mind someone sending an email or something.
I think I talk too much, so it doesn't work well for me. I can't do anything in 100 words or less.
Oh yeah. I typically will do the voice thing anyway, but it usually jacks up what I'm trying to say because I guess not speaking clearly.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So what's the weather like in Florida today?
Oh, well, we're actually not getting rain, which is fabulous because we have puddles standing everywhere. We've been getting so much rain. It's crazy. So 2 days, this is the second day where we haven't been poured on, and I'm delighted to see the sun shining. So hope it dries up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I think when I was in Florida, it would like rain for like, I don't know, it would sprinkle for like 15 minutes every day. I don't seem like it was.
Yeah.
Like, what's the deal?
It's all different now. It's different. You know, I grew up here. My parents brought me here when I was a kid, 2 years old. And we lived in basically, we moved from one town to the next town west. And it was the same. The weather was the same the whole time I was growing up, where in the summertime, it was like you could set your clock. At 2 o'clock, it would start to rain. It would rain for an hour, and then it would clear up, and that was it. It was done. And now it's like it rains all day. It started, I guess, when we had the really big drought and the bad fires back in 2000, I think 1999 or 97, I can't remember. But right at the turn of the century, we had a really bad, long drought and terrible fires everywhere. And ever since then, everything has been different. We have hurricanes all the time. We're either in drought or flooding. There's no, happy medium anymore.
Right.
It's just torrential or nothing.
So you're noticing the earth changes for sure down there.
Yeah, definitely it's different, but I don't know whether it's earth changes or just, the change in development, because Orlando has blown up, since I was a kid. I was here when they built Disney. There was, that was all orange groves. And so the terrain is changed. There's a lot more heat in the middle of the state, and here too. This place has developed a lot more, although not like Orlando. Mm-hmm. So, any
word on moving to Virginia?
Oh, you remembered that. I'm going Saturday to look at some properties. So everybody talk to your angels and guides and put in a good word for me to find my place. So, yeah.
I have no doubt that things will work out if that's where you're supposed to go. Synchronistically.
Oh, I know it is.
You know.
I know it is. It was really crazy. Did I tell this story? I don't remember if I told you this the last time. But I was, I had watched a video, and they said, I asked my guides, well, why didn't you ever tell me this before? And they answered, you never asked before. So she said, make sure you ask your guides for what you want. And so I was sitting and watching a TV show, which I hardly ever do anymore. But there's one show that I started watching 3 years ago called The Colony. Mm-hmm. And this is the last season that they're doing, and it's, so I was like, yeah, I want to go ahead and watch that. So I was sitting watching it, and a commercial came on, and I thought, you know what? I want to sign. I want to sign about where I'm supposed to be, because it's just been on my mind so much. So the show came back on, and I forgot all about saying that during the commercial. Mm-hmm. And during the show, the guy this guy is trying to make up his mind whether he's going to call in the troopers or not. And so he's holding a radio, and he's got a piece of paper with a code word, and all he has to do is click on the radio and say the code word. And he's just pausing and hesitant. He's deciding whether it's the right thing to do or not. And he clicks the mic and he says, Roanoke. And I was like, oh my God. That's the name of the town where I've been looking at properties. I was like, I don't believe it. Okay, that was cool. Do that again.
That's a good sign, isn't it? Yeah.
It was. It's like, okay, that is my place. Now I just got to find the house to live in.
Yeah, and now we know everyone else, that's sort of not awake, will just say, oh, that was silly. That's coincidental. It's like, what's the chances of that? Some of the coincidences are like winning the lottery type odds, and still people are like, it's just a coincidence. You're like, but these happen all the time,
Oh, it was so fast. This was like, within 5 minutes.
Right.
And of all the words in all the languages that could have been the code word, it was the town that I'm looking at in Virginia. I mean, really? That's a coincidence? That's a crazy coincidence. That was a sign. I asked and I got it.
That's wonderful.
It was really cool.
Well, you have to keep us updated with how that goes. You could even call from there if we're doing a show while you're there and give us an update. I'm sure people would like to keep following your story and figure out how that works out. I'm sure it's going to be neat,
I think I'm going to be really, really busy. My son is actually driving down from New York with his girlfriend, because I'm talking them into moving there too. So we're all meeting there and going to run for one day and look at houses for one day, and I've got to fly back. So it's like,
so you're flying there and flying back?
Yeah, he's driving down with his girlfriend, and they'll have one day more than I do. I fly in on Saturday and fly out on Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't leave he works, and can't leave him with the dogs and the chickens, and
right.
Just got to pull my weight here. So
I understand.
He's a good guy. He's given me my time to go look.
That's awesome.
But when Leah was talking, she made the comment about there being no time, and I have a story about that. When I started a job, and a lot of it was just sitting and monitoring, and but there was nothing to do. It was so boring. So would sit there and I would just try and entertain myself, and I started doing. I guess somebody compared it to like when Einstein would do thought experiments. If you've ever heard of that,
yeah,
where you just. Yeah, so you just kind of start thinking about something and then just let your mind take it wherever it can go. And I'm fascinated with time and the concept of time. So I started thinking about time. And after, this went on for like hours. I was sitting there with just thinking. And I was like, there is no such thing as time. Time is completely fake. And you can't travel through time because there is no time to travel through. So you can travel wherever you want, but you can't travel through time, So I about a week after that, I was reading a magazine or online, and there was an article that these two guys came up and said, we were trying to do all these calculations for quantum physics, which I can't do the math, but I like the principles that they talk about.
Right.
And they could not get anything to work. Any of the calculations that they use for, all the higher math for figuring out the universe, nothing worked until they took time out of the equations. And then it all started to work. So they said there is no such thing as time. At least on a quantum level, there's no such thing as time. Well, that article disappeared. Nobody would believe me. I'd say, look, there's no time. And there was this article. And I tried to find the article, and it was gone. I was like,
Mandela.
Okay. Yeah, it got me immediately. That was crazy. So, that's really a big point for me, because it came back again. When I started looking into this, the first thing that I found was Dolores Cannon, and this was just like a year ago, not even a year. And one of the first things that she said was, "There's no such thing as time." And I was like, "Oh, this is it. She knows there's no such thing as time." I was so excited. So that's what really keyed me in, that this was where my information was going to be found, that this was the path I needed to follow. And it has just been synchronicity after synchronicity of finding the bits of information that I always knew. And it was more like an intuitive knowing, like I remember something to be true, but I don't know why I know it. I just know things. I just know this is how it is.
Yeah.
And now it's all coming up. All these things that people are talking about, the connectedness, the oneness, the problems in, the doctrine of religions, how much it's changed, it's away from the message. Everything is just like coming together and coming up and bubbling out. And it's like so exciting to me. I love it.
Oh, yeah, and I'm starting even to see, like, religion as this, like, nifty little trap that you got to sort of overcome, you know what I mean? It's an important stepping stone, or it was for me anyway, but it's like all of the breadcrumbs were always there. I mean, I found my way out of religion through the Bible, and I try to tell people that, because I know a lot of Christians are like I was, where it's like, the Bible's the only authority. You can't go outside the Bible. You have to like anchor to the Bible. And I always did. And I found my way out of religion with the Bible only. And once I did, it's like I come out and there's all these other people that either never fell into that trap, or they found their way out by whatever means. It's like, it's such a cool thing, because you feel so alone at times when you're like, feel like you're leaving your religion, and everybody thinks you're going, off into the wilderness, and it feels that way, like you're going off by yourself on this super narrow path.
It's really scary.
Yeah, but then it all opens up, and you find all these people.
Yeah, my parents, my grandparents were Orthodox Christian or Catholic, Orthodox Catholic from Ukraine, and my parents were raised in that. But when we moved to Florida, there was no Ukrainian Orthodox church here, so we just went to the normal Catholic church. And that's, I went through First Communion, and I found that, I was like, I would sneak out. I was a kid, I was a little kid, and I would go to the bathroom and just go out the door and sit outside for a while before I came back in. I just never liked being in church. I didn't like the things they said. I didn't like the classes. I always got in trouble in Sunday school. I would say things that they just did not appreciate.
Yeah.
So I just quit going. And that was by the time I was in, like third grade, I think. I was done with church. I was like, that's it.
And now you use fear to scare you. They're like, you're going to go to hell if you, don't go out on that limb. God's going to break it off and burn you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's, I had a really hard time dealing with all of the fear that they were putting out. That, you have to believe that, Jesus is the only way. And I was like, wait a minute, God is so everything. And I think that God can talk to people however they need to hear it.
Yeah.
And that message that, of love is in anything. As long as you open your eyes to find it, whatever culture or country you live in, whatever church you're going to, or a temple or a mosque or whatever, it doesn't matter. The message is somewhere in there for you to find it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a loving creator will find us wherever we're at,
Yeah, exactly.
But we put limits on them. Our own
exactly. Yes, we've recreated God in our image.
That's so true. That's a great point.
Well, do you have other callers? I don't want to keep you all day. I know other people must have interesting things to talk about.
Well, yeah, it was nice talking to you. We can move along, and I definitely want to hear back from you. Let us know how that goes, even if you have to wait till you get back home.
I'll probably miss the Saturday show, too, which is really sad because I love that. I love what you're doing. Oh, my gosh.
The power of 8 at 8? Yes, I think that's great.
It feels amazing, and I want to tell everybody, if you haven't joined in on that, you got to. Please, join in.
Even if it's late,
Yeah. Oh, true. Retro causality. It'll work, yeah.
Yeah, Jenny from New Zealand got that instant healing. And she didn't do it for 3 days,
Yeah, so, I'll have to make sure I download the show so I can watch it on the airplane.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
All right, well, you have a great afternoon, and thank you so much for doing this. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Ronnie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm trying to figure out where that call is. I guess it just automatically hung up. Thank you, Ronnie in Florida. I have no doubt that your trip to Virginia is going to work out just fine, and I think you're going to have some synchronicities to report back to us. I think that'll be totally cool. Let me see here. Shell's Adventures. Yes, I have checked out your channel. I actually subscribed to you. I've just been really busy. I haven't. In fact, I saw you popped up a video earlier today. I need to go check that out. I do apologize for it's so hard to keep up sometimes. Michelle, how are you doing? Michelle's Opinions?
You always catch me. I can't come in sneaky. I'm gonna have to hit that pound whatever and hide my number.
Actually, that troll the other night did that after he tried to call right back and did that. So I probably won't answer it if you do that.
Oh, really? You get trolls?
Yeah.
That's messed up. That's wrong. Yeah. Well, I wanted to tell you, on my behalf and Michelle Wolf's behalf, after the show, we were zinging each other. She was calling them affirmations, and I was calling them synchronicities. And then I got the notification, and I'm like, oh, Shane's live. We gotta go. But it took like 15 minutes for the YouTube. I'll tell you what frustrates me. Now, and I have one other thing I want to share. Mm-hmm. Okay, my husband's building a shed in the backyard, and it's looking more like a barn, okay? Like, you're in Oklahoma, you know what I'm talking about. He's from Oklahoma. That's where I met him, and then I brought him out this way.
Okay. It'd be good enough. I'm just playing.
Yeah. Well, no, it's tall. I mean, it's got that barn, like, where the kids have the, the opening, and they hang their legs off and stuff in the little lofty area. And I said, you are blocking out the sun from the pool. Okay? Well, I tell you, it wasn't even 2 days later. The sun started to rise in the southeast, and now it goes across the sky in an angle, and it sets in the northwest. Problem solved. My pool gets sun all day long. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this. I know we've all noticed the white sun.
Yeah.
But for the sun to now, it's going across the sky in an angle. And another thing is, how many moons do we have? Because we're getting day moons and night moons, but still on the other side of the world, across the pond, they're getting day moons and night moons.
Right.
I've seen pictures of this stuff that people are taking, because I'm like, it can't be possible that you're having the moon if we're having it during the daytime too and the nighttime. Like, it's like not moving or whatever. But they're showing that they're having them too. There's a lot of weird, fascinating, amazing, exciting things going on right now. And plus, there's such an uptick in energies that are just bombarding us. So mainly we were talking about grounding methods on how to discharge some of this energy, just within 5 minutes. Anybody can do this at any time. So that way you can stay in balance and not have those like ascension symptoms, the headaches, the body aches, the tiredness, the like dreamy state, but not in a good way, feeling kind of out of it, not sleeping well, all of those things. Mm-hmm. If you just ground yourself out for 5 minutes, plant your feet on the ground, and then just visualize that your feet, you don't even have to be outside. You can do this if you're at your workspace or whatever in an office. Just close your eyes. Imagine that you're growing a root system out of the bottom of your feet, and that it's stretching down those walls and going down into the earth, and that you've got like a waterfall of, abundant source, God, pouring in from your crown chakra, and it's flushing out all the negativity and everything out through your feet, down through that root system, and grounding out, and you will feel much better. Michelle and I didn't get much sleep last night, and she had a horrible headache. Well, as soon as we read the article at the very beginning of the show, her headache was gone, and I was alert and awake and ready to go. So it did something for us.
Very nice. Yeah,
Just
there's
simple little things can do the world for us.
There's a video called Earthing that talks about grounding yourself. There's even these like mats you can get for your bed where it plugs into the outlet, because the electricity in your home, that third prong on there that some plugs don't have, that goes directly to ground, and it goes to a grounding rod, and usually in your backyard, wherever your electricity comes into the house, and it grounds to
Right.
earth.
Now they're only double plugs. We need those that third prong, that grounding line.
Yeah. So they have.
Can you shoot me the link in the email so I can check out what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'll find it, or one of the mods can find it and put it in there. It's called Earthing. But
Earthing?
Yeah,
okay.
Earthing.
Yeah, because I've been looking into that because of, another thing that I found interesting was she brought up the date of June 19th, and then I was doing some research, went on the NASA site, and then I went on the Schumann, which the Schumann resonance is off the freaking charts, right? Well, then Mr. MBB333, I came across a video of his. He said the same date of July 19th. And what it is all the planets, now Mars is the last one we're waiting on, but Mars will be on the right side of the sun on July 19th. So all the planets are going to be on the right side of the sun. So, and we're feeling this uptick of it. A lot of us are, having these symptoms, ascension symptoms or whatnot. I'm not really doing too bad. I've been pretty much just kind of resting through it. Mm-hmm. But I know people are getting headaches, body aches, just, a lot of different sensations that are going on within them. And if we're upticking into this, just imagine, and it's supposed to be in that, with all of them on the right side from 4 to 6 weeks, and then they'll slowly come back out on the other side. So if we're feeling this uptick coming in, and it's going to be there for, 4 to 6 weeks, and then it's going to come out, we're looking at, let's see, it's been about, 2 months that it's been increasing and increasing on us. And then we're going to get to that tipping point. It's just going to pour out on us, and we're going to stay in that. But I think a lot of us are prepared for that, or are being prepared for that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, maybe to help. Hang on a second. Got something going on. Okay, somebody got it. Ooh, you got quick on the trigger there. But a lot of us are feeling this stuff go on with us, and then when it comes out the other side, we're still going to feel that, just like how we're feeling the intensity going in. The intensity is going to go out the other side. So, yeah, it's amazing times that we live in. I don't know if you watched any of the show. Michelle shared an amazing story about hypno regression, quantum healing that she had just done. But I'll put a pin in that for your show. She can share that there, because I don't want to give that away, because it's an amazing story. And I always love talking to you, Shane. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, that's all I have for you today.
Well, thanks for coming on.
And Willie wrote me a long letter, so he's feeling much better. I have not had a chance to read it yet, but so that's a good sign. Very good sign.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yes.
I'm glad he's feeling better. Can't wait to have him back. I want to have him on, actually.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, actually, that's why I sent him this long. I thought I scared him off or something, because I sent him this long before he sort of went AWOL on us. I'd send us this thing. I'm like, you know what, man, I'd really like to have you on, and just because I know you do so much for so many different channels, and you're sort of behind the scenes. I just kind of want to honor you and the things you do. You're a great guy and all this. And then he didn't hit me back, and he's always on Discord, and I'm like, well, gosh, maybe he's a little bit shy or something. And then you asked a few days later, have you heard from Willie? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Something's going on. No. I've got this weird feeling about him. There was something amiss. That's when I reached out to you and said, have you heard from him? Because you're right. He usually is floating around, even if he's just listening. Right. But I'm not really in there very much. I'll pop in every once in a while. But I still do, send private messages back and forth. And then, for the past couple of weeks, I've been sending him a message a day, because I was concerned. There was something not right there. And lo and behold, our prayers, putting them together, one can put 1,000 to 10,000, and I too use the Bible to set me free. I got set free through the Bible, so I know it's possible. I know there's truth in what you're saying there, but it's not a religious thing at all. It is truly, if you use the Bible and rightly divide and then understand it, it will pull you out and set you free. But so when it says one can put 1,000 and two could put 10,000, and then when you did that blanket out, just imagine how many people heard that and then included themselves into it. And I was getting one-liners from him the other day when I told you I heard from him, and then today I've got like a full essay that I need to go back and read. So he's definitely getting back to his old self, and he said he was going to reach out to you yesterday, so I'm hoping that you heard from him. If not, you might want to look and see if you have. So yeah, I checked right before the show. I didn't see anything from him, but no rush. I want him to get better, and I don't want him to feel pressure he knows I love him, and that as soon as he didn't hit me back, I started praying for him, just that everything would be okay, and that he was surrounded with angels and protection and all that good stuff. And I really haven't worried about him. I knew he would be all right. Things always work out. He did
that ripple effect, and that takes a lot out of somebody.
Yeah.
That project that he was working on with fighting with his own government, which ended up doing a ripple effect that affected worldwide. It got pushed right through the FDA for children. That's some mighty work that he did there. And of course, it's going to
draw some attention.
Cause some exhaustion. He needs some recharge time. So, definitely. Yeah, I'm just glad to see that he's on the uphill swing. And yeah, he saw what you did. He watched it. He was very, very, very happy about it, and he is going to reach out to you soon. You'll probably hear from him today. I'm sure of it.
Awesome.
If he can write me an essay, he'll write you an email. All right, sweetie. Well, I will free up your phone lines so your next caller can come through. Have a blessed day, and please forgive Michelle and I for being late. We were totally tied up in conversation, and then as soon as we got the indicator, we bailed out and jumped on over.
No problem. Yeah, I had scheduled it. It didn't come on for 15 minutes after you went off the air, so you didn't miss much, I'm sure.
Well, okay. Well, that's what it said. It was about 15 minutes that you were on, and I was like, takes 15 minutes for me to get a freaking notification, even though I've hit the bell. Of course,
Yeah,
whatever. But we're here.
No problem.
All right, Shane.
Lots of love
Take
to
care,
you.
and have a good show.
You too. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so normally that have a good show, you two thing wouldn't work, but Michelle's Opinions actually does have her own show, which aired right before I went live today, and she had Michelle Wolf on, who I will have on tomorrow. So, yeah, let me, I'm going to go back to, Facebook, see if I can fit one more in. I'm going to try to do like 3 of these. Friday will be the longer one, so if you don't get in tonight, don't be discouraged. I'm really trying to, I was trying to do something earlier in the day for those people across the pond because people were like, oh, you went live, I was asleep. And so I try to get something in earlier in the day. But my wife does get off work soon, and I'll have to go pick her up. And let's see if we can get Diane on the horn here. Fingers crossed. Diane, can you hear me? Diane? Uh-oh. There you go. I hear you laughing.
Hello.
You're here. It works.
Excellent.
You had to steal from your son, but hey, you know, he'll get over it, right?
I'm hearing you twice.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you might have to mute the video because it's going to be delayed like 20 seconds. It's going to be really confusing. Are you listening to the program on the same device?
Right, hold on a minute.
Okay.
That's it. Right.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So how are you doing? It's wonderful to finally get to talk to you in person. We've chatted so much.
At last.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got absolutely nothing to say though.
No, it's it's totally cool. It's so funny because, you know, when you responded to the video, I had no idea you were more of a spiritual person anyway. You know, we talked for a while, and my channel sort of went in that more spiritual direction. And I don't know, it's strange because I sort of, you saw what kind of people I attracted on that video. I was like, look, I need to stay away from that because those are some really low vibe people that are just rude and
yeah.
So yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was
really
absolutely crazy. That video.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, there was a lot of very negative comments on there. I had to walk away from it in the end, but
I did too. Like I said, I took that video down because they were pulling channels down for really old videos, and I'm like, if that's definitely one that would get me in trouble, like in retrospect, if they wanted to find a reason to give me trouble. So I pulled it down. I'm like, I'm not giving them anything to cause me any problems with. So, okay, so to straighten that out, you're not actually from Manchester, but your son went to that concert, correct?
No, my son's friend went
to
that concert. Yeah. No, I'm not from Manchester. We're down in Devon.
Devon.
We're right down on the south coast. We are literally on the coast.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Looking out to sea. So, yeah, it's lovely.
Are you dealing with the fires from where you're at?
No, we've got no fires down here. No, that's all up in the Manchester area. No, we were supposed to have lots of hailstorms and thunderstorms and things today and yesterday, but we've had nothing where we are.
Not even the earthquakes. I heard a few earthquakes hit over there in unusual places.
Yeah, they're in Surrey. They're, again, over towards the east of the country from where we are. So I've got a friend that lives over there, but I think that's, I heard that's all man-made. All the fracking going on over there.
Yeah, we have a lot of that here in Oklahoma. Yeah, that causes earthquakes. So let me ask you, did you come across the Mandela effect from my channel, or did you sort of stumble across it in your own way?
You know what? I'm not really sure. It was about the same time as the concert. My son started talking to me about it about the same time. He asked me about Looney Tunes.
Oh, right.
But I think the biggest one for me, well, apart from oh, my head's gone now. The fist.
Oh yeah,
the Thinker.
Rodin's Thinker. Yeah.
Yeah, the Thinker, the Mona Lisa. The other one for me is We Are the Champions.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
So, yeah, I think that's the biggest one for me.
Did it take you a long time to sort of wrap your head around the fact that it was happening? I mean, or were you in disbelief for a while?
No, it was. I saw it pretty quickly. I think from that video of yours, the concert one, I went away. When I walked away, I went off in a different direction. I started looking. God, I say a lot, don't I?
It's okay. I didn't notice. I will now, though. I'm just playing. But, yeah. So it got you looking into all of the double F word. I don't know if I should even say it. But
we had the
orchestrated.
I can't even think now. The London attacks at the time.
Right.
The Westminster Bridge attack, and there was another one.
With the van or something.
The van.
Yeah. Right.
And your video actually led me towards that, and seeing all the
it's the way it's orchestrated.
Yeah.
It's hard not to see it once you begin to see it, isn't it? It's like once you start looking for those little key things that show you that, you know, there's something fishy about this, that, you know, the official story just doesn't add up. And I think, you know, this is sort of the thing that we got into the discussion about in the thing, because some people were like, it's completely fake, nobody. I'm like, look, it's like people were traumatized, people were terrorized by what happened. It's not like it was fake and that all of these people are actors. It's just the official story isn't what really happened. You know, the culprits are people that we should be able to trust, you know, many times that actually pulled this off, you know. So it's not like all of these teens weren't, you know, terrorized for their life, you know. But
yeah, that's right. And once you see it, you, like you say, you can't unsee it. And
that was sort of the divide between the people, because some people were, you know, saying it was completely fake, and so it was sort of like, and they really hurt the movement, because people can see that these tears going down these children's face are real, and that they were really scared. So then they they don't believe any of it. Then they sort of throw it all out, the baby with the bathwater, as they say. But yeah, you can see that there's more going on, and you guys had that election going on at the time, and I think that might have, you know, it held off the election.
Yeah. I can't remember if it held off the election, but it's it was around about that time. It was May, June. So yes.
So did you look into any other ones, like the ones we've had over here with like Sandy Hook and 9/11? Did that sort of drive you to checking all of them out?
Well, 9/11 I've believed was fake for a long, long time, for years. It made me look at the one that I contacted you about, the shuttle. The shuttle, the Challenger.
Right.
It kind of led me down that road, and then I found you again, and I rejoined you. So
I'm glad you did.
So am I.
I'm glad the rude people didn't send you off and you never return. I try to be as nice and polite as possible, because they were just so mean and vicious, and you know, you seem like such a swell person. So
I think there was just a lot of emotions at that time. There was the British that were upset because we lost, people had died, and the Americans were just saying that it's just 911 again. and it all got heated and
yeah, it is highly charged.
Bit over the top.
Yeah. So how long have you been on your spiritual journey? What sort of
many, all my life, really. All my life.
Never got trapped by religion?
No, I looked, I'm going to get lots of haters now. I looked into Christianity when I was teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot's happened in my life. There's lots of abuse and stuff, and I needed something to believe in, and I looked at Christianity, and I had lots of questions which the Christians around me couldn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking elsewhere, and I found Wicca,
mm-hmm.
witchcraft, and really got into that, and that's has been a lifesaver for me, really.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that's really misunderstood too. I was just talking to Jose about that, who was kind of getting into that too. And it's more about nature. It's sort of, people think it's like Luciferianism or like Satan worship, but it's not like that at all, because you hear the word witch and you automatically think, it's, doing evil. But there is the concept of white witches and, just like there's white hats and black hats, there's people that are actually out there doing the good work with it. So
I think there's the same. There's the same in every belief and every religion. There's the good and the bad. There's the black and the white. It's like that in life, though, isn't it? It's you can't have the yin without the yang.
Right.
But witchcraft does get a lot of bad press, and it is about nature. It's completely about nature. It's following the seasons and the days of the week and colours and all sorts of things. It's not dark at all. Not from where I see it.
Right. And what sort of changed my mind about it is early on with the channel, I had come across another channel. I think it was Divine Vigilant was his name, but he was, I believe that's who it is, or maybe it was exploring the cosmos with Ka with Ra or something like that. But anyway, his family had a long history of being in Wicca, and he was talking about how they were horribly afraid of Christians because Christians were hunting them down and killing them, but in actuality his family were fighting the dark forces that were trying to do evil, and they wouldn't harm anyone, and their family was trying to fight that while at the same time trying to hide from the church and the Christian the religious leaders that were hunting them down, when in actuality they were really wanting the same thing, to get rid of the dark. And so it's really crazy when you look at it. It's like everyone's really, from their point of view, doing the right thing, and that's sort of what you don't realize when you're in the Christian religion, is that you're kind of told that we're right, everyone else is deceived and wrong. And so it's sort of, once you get out of that and you start thinking more open-mindedly and just hearing what other people believe, you realize that we're really not much different. We've just chosen different tools in our toolbox.
Yeah, we all follow this. We all follow one God, don't we? Or our own God,
right?
Of sorts. So and watching your show, actually being with you for so long, it's getting me back into Jesus and
because religion gives them a bad name, doesn't it? Religion gives him a bad name. And it's so funny because it's like when you really get into it and you see how much of a rebel Jesus was and how much he fought the religious construct. And he was really a rebel. He was a lot like I see myself. He was sort of, he called the religious leaders hypocrites, and because they were just wanting to control the people, and religion just like turned them around to be on their side. And it's not like that at all when you really look at it objectively. So I'm glad you're cool with Jesus again.
I've just seen Jose. Love you too, Jose. Oh.
It's so wonderful to have you call in and finally talk to you or whatever.
Yeah, brilliant.
Didn't your son do a report about one of the Mandela effect changes too? Was it the JFK or something?
Oh gosh, yes, I can't remember what it was now. It was one of his GCSEs. He had to do a speech about something. Yeah, it was one of the Mandela effects.
How did he do with it? Did they give him?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know yet. He hasn't got. It went well at the time. He won't get his results until 23rd of August. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it went well at the time.
Yeah,
who knows?
Right. It just seems like some people are really hostile when you begin to bring up the Mandela effect. So I didn't know. I could see it going either way. Either it would be cool or not, because it's like my son was at school and he pointed out the Funyuns potato chips. He says, "Look, they say Funyuns now instead of Funyuns, like spelt like onions." And the teacher looked at him and she said, "Do you know what that's called?" And he said, "Yeah, the Mandela effect." And she just nodded, like she knows about it. She's just not. She don't want to lose her job. You know, as a teacher, you can't, really talk about stuff like that without putting yourself at risk of losing your job for being too weird or whatever.
Yeah, he just did the more obvious ones. He left out the the more obscure things. So.
Right. That's awesome.
But yeah, because a lot of the Mandela ones that you sometimes bring up, they don't actually mean much to me because I guess they're American,
right?
And they're not something that I've grown up with.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially products, probably. Like Fruit Loops, do they even have them over there?
I've got no idea.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
I think I found residue with someone in the UK, like a teenage girl who was trying out Fruit Loops, and she was adding sugar to it, and all the Americans were like, "Why are you adding sugar to your cereal? It's already got so much sugar in it." And then she actually reported back that the UK version of Fruit Loops didn't have sugar in it because you all always add the sugar or something like that. It just didn't come with it. So it was actually a different version of Fruit Loops. But what made me find her video is that she spelled it the original way, although the box she was holding was spelled like it changed. And I actually asked her, I'm like, was that spelled like fruit when you originally did this video? But she never hit me back. I don't think she was active anymore. But yeah, that's what made me find her video. She spelled it like it originally was, although it had changed on the box she was holding in the video. It was crazy. But yeah, it's Fruot now instead of spelled like fruit, So it's wonderful. Let me see if anybody's got Fruity Pebbles. Oh, Jose's laughing at you. Not in a bad way. Let's see. Well, we need to have you back on sometime when I don't catch you off guard so much.
I'll have to get my own headphones, new ones, so...
Is your son giving you the evil eye, like, "Hey, give me my iPhone back"? Or something?
He's just come to see me, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I will let you go, but I want to have you back sometime. And you're sort of my connection
to the. You.
Yeah, it was wonderful to talk to you too, Diane. Thanks for coming back too.
Oh, Tracy's from Plymouth. That's just down the road from me.
Oh, really? Plymouth, UK? Okay, because we have Plymouth here too. A few Plymouths.
Yeah, Plymouth, UK. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm in a little town called Kingsbridge, which is not far from Plymouth.
Yeah, when you overlay like Great Britain and America, it's like, wow, you could fit like even Spain and Germany and all of that. It's like you don't really realize how congested all of it is. You have to take a boat like across to Spain and stuff, but it's still pretty close, right? Or fly there.
Yep, not far.
So can you drive all over Great Britain? I mean, travel pretty much anywhere you want?
Can do, yeah. It doesn't take long. Even planes, we've got, my doctor actually goes up to Manchester regularly from here every week by plane. So, it doesn't take long.
That's cool. Yeah, I'd love to come over there sometime. Even Paris isn't far. You could drive there, right? In France?
Probably, yeah.
I guess most everybody flies, though.
Yeah, I know people who've driven to Paris. Yeah, it's not
I don't
far.
know about driving though. Everybody's on the wrong side of the road to me. You know, that's funny. Yeah. Do you watch the other YouTubers from over there, like Mandela Affected and Scott Harrison? Ever?
I don't know. I didn't know they were from over here.
Yeah, they're from over there. Scott Harrison and Mandela Affected with an A.
Oh
Affected.
yes, yeah, Mandela Affected. You introduced me to those, and yeah, I do watch them.
Yeah, and it's a trip because he'll have his dashboard camera going while he's talking, and I keep feeling cringy because it's like, dude, you're on the wrong side of the road. You're gonna have a head-on collision. You know, it's so tough. I don't know. It's like you guys live in a mirror world with a, steering wheel and everything. It is cool.
It's all strange to us as well.
Oh, I bet.
With the opposite from you. So, right, my son wants his headphones back.
Okay. Lots of love and light to you, Diane. Thank you so much for
talking
to
you.
Me. All righty,
love and light to you all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I should have saw if she could do an American accent. The British accent has always been my favorite as a kid because me and my sister would watch the award show, and like all the rock stars would always go up to get their award, and we'd be like, oh my gosh, they got an accent. And it was always so cool because you can't really tell while they're singing that they have a British accent. We'll have to definitely do some more earlier shows for you guys across the pond because I love to include the whole global community. Let's see. I do need to wrap this one up. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at, trying to think, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central. I think that works out to be like 5:30 or 6:30 UTC for you guys over there. So definitely want to have you join us tomorrow. I'm going to have Michelle Wolf on, and we're going to have a good time. So lots of love and light to each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.